everybody, and welcome to Hex Token Channel. Your host, Superman, in the house. Yeah, boy. Hey, welcome, and everybody. Don't forget to subscribe on the way in. Smash that like button, hit the bell, all the good YouTube stuff. Help us with the algorithms. And welcome to the bear market, everybody. Welcome to the bear market. It's your first bear market. You're getting a pretty good experience because this is what happens. This is what happens. This bear market's been particularly brutal. But with bear markets becomes opportunity. It becomes opportunity. So hopefully you're picking up a bit of opportunity. We're going to talk about that today. Now, we're shifting some of the content around. We'll be focusing on a couple of projects in particular today because they're the ones with all the news at the moment. They've got the news flying. But we also will be talking about the opportunities that are in the market as well. So hopefully you enjoy that. We've obviously got the big event at the moment is the sacrifice for internet money is closing. So we're going to be talking about that. Let's get into that, actually. Start off with that. We've got 27 minutes to go. 27 minutes to go. So we're actually going to start off with that before we get into the stock market news for the last day of the year. What's the last day? Second to last day of the year. So it's going to be pretty cool. We got 26 minutes to go for that sacrifice. If you are participating, I'll post the link in the chat there in case you want to participate. That is it. Once again, nothing on this channel is investment advice. You must do your own due diligence. But if you want to participate in that, that is on Internet Money. Now, I do believe that KG is doing a show on his channel over Internet Money, and they're closing. Obviously, it's his project. So we'll see how that goes. At the moment, the 26 minutes to go, there's 858,000 in the multi-chain sacrifice, which is on at the moment. Of course, the original Pulsechain one had almost $1.6 million. And that's kind of where it is, the total value at the moment, almost at $2.5 million. We'll see how that goes. Now, if you were in the first sacrifice, obviously you're getting a copy onto the multi-chain one. And, of course, at the moment, people wanted the multi-chain as well. So maybe some new people never sacrificed for the first one, maybe that sort of thing. Now, there was a big, I think a big whale went in the other day. That was $250,000. Something was pretty big. I think it was a big number anyway. It was in there. So that's included in that number. Let's see if they can hit $1 million in the last 25 minutes. We will see. Best of luck to KG and the Internet Money team that are trying to develop a profit-sharing wallet for Pulsechain. Obviously, they're going to launch on, I think, Ethereum first. And, of course, that's going to be multi-chain on the EVMs. But having a profit-sharing wallet on Pulsechain is going to be pretty awesome. Of course, they're leading that. We do expect Staker app, of course, to have version 2 out. That was supposed to be out pretty shortly, I believe. I think thought it was supposed to be before Christmas, so we'll still wait for Staker app. I haven't actually checked up on that. And, of course, the third one, of course, is the Heart wallet. We know that Richard had 1 or 2 devs working on the Heart wallet, so we're looking forward to that as well. But in any case, Internet Money, I think, is probably well ahead on the profit-sharing front and a few other features that are not in the other ones. So very, very exciting. Plus, profit-sharing, hey, that goes back to the people. I love that. On MetaMask at the moment, you do a swap, but the fees go to the middleman, right? To the middleman. I don't want to get into Richard Hart's middleman D, but that's kind of where it goes. All right, so there's a family channel. It's a family channel. All right, so let's have a big welcome to everybody. We got Rango in the house there. Morning, all you lovely people. I hope you all had a good Christmas. I think so, Randy. Everyone's set for the feedback I've seen so far. Everyone had a good time. Brennan says, "Hey, Superman and family, good to see Brennan." Always bringing the alpha. Yeah, that's the alpha. We always want to bring the alpha here. Brian's in the house there, one of our 2 community leads. What's up, folks? Good to see you, Brian. Let's go, says Rango. Let's go indeed. We've got Sandy Beach, one of our community moderators and all-around incredible Sandy Beach person over there in good old USA, I think North Carolina. Big shout out to you, Sandy Beach. Hello, Hex Token, everybody. What else there? Sandy Beach says, I'm dealing with a cable company right now. I'll be back later, says Sandy. Nice one. Sounds like something out of a movie, that cable guy movie. That's pretty funny. Tony Starr in the house as well. Good to see Tony Starr. J-Man as well. Hello. Good to see you, J-Man. And, of course, Brennan says, waiting for the Heart wallet. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see when that plays out in the order. So you can't really do a buyout of Internet Money. So if you decided just to go with Internet Money, can't really do a buyout with that. Plus, there's no sacrifice. So we'll see. A lot of people want the sacrifice, of course, because it's going to eat up the Hex circulating supply. And I definitely think that would be a pretty nice play. We'll see how that goes. And, of course, with Richard Hart's branding and this huge community following, you could see a pretty big uptake in the Heart wallet. We are expecting Internet Money to do well as well. Obviously, it's a big place, a big world. They can spread the word. But, of course, adoption is the key. The product is an obvious top utility, but of course, getting that community. Obviously, Internet Money's been out on all the YouTuber spaces, so they're doing a good job to kick it off. And of course, they'll have to be just consistent with that. So we wish them the best of luck with that. We were obviously looking forward to success. Hexforce 1 says, "What's up, Superman? Hey, good to see Hexforce 1. Hexforce 1 has landed, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Well done. Well, not boys and girls, but ladies and gentlemen. This is not a child show. This is an adult show. I have to put it in my YouTube properties. That's the way it goes. All right, so good to see Hexforce 1 in the house there. 22 minutes to go. I posted the link in the chat there. If you're going to participate, that is it there. And, of course, these guys are leading. They have a big team, and they have been doing very well as well. Now, you can actually download the wallet. It is, I think, in beta stage. So it is real wallet. It's got real addresses. You just have to remember that it is in development stage still. And I think they're looking at going the first live commercial wallet in, I think it's Q1. There is a roadmap on here somewhere. Not sure if it's down the bottom here as well. So that's kind of all the cool stuff there. There's a roadmap there. So what do we got? The roadmap Q1 there. Public beta community feedback, V1 launch there. Yeah, so it is in 2023. Version 1 launched at the moment. And what do we got at the moment? Public beta, is it? Sacrifice for WD on EVM chains. That's kind of where we are there. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. What's the wallet there? I'm trying to look at the wallets. Alpha build, yeah. Pretty sure we're in the beta build there at the moment. They've got another update coming up shortly, I believe, for the wallet. You can download it there and play around. So kind of cool. Lots of stuff in store for the old Internet Money wallet. Now I've got a little promo for that. Let's play the promo. Let's go.
Internet Money Wallet Dividend, or WD. WD is the first token of its kind. Instead of traditional fees for swapping crypto assets, the Internet Money Wallet fees are paid in the form of a blockchain's native coin. Those fees are locked in an immutable smart contract with no admin keys, where WD holders can claim their portion of the fees as frequently as every block. 100% of wallet revenue is distributed to WD holders. You do not need to lock your WD up in any way. Simply hold WD on your desired blockchain and earn passive income in the form of Pulse, ETH, BNB, and other native coins. Earn passive income. Free your time. Learn more at internetmoney.io.
All right, so it's kind of cool in many ways because you're going to earn all these top tokens that you want to get anyway. If you're going to swap tokens, well, it's probably a reasonable place to swap tokens as well. There's also referrals as well, doing referrals. So it's got all the incentives to really work really well. And of course, you can set up your own RPC and not be tracked like on MetaMask, so that's pretty neat. So very, very cool. All right, so who else is in the house? We got Living on Crypto. G'day, Superman, Hexkins, DCAing into Hedron ASIC. Nice one there, Living on Crypto. Hey, yeah, so you'll be finding that I'll be talking about certain tokens. Just if I'm not talking about it, it's not any reason in particular. It's just that I'm focusing on certain things as we move ahead, just moving with the times, as it were. Firefighter says 6634E A1 EB wallet is this wallet is selling huge volume of Hex today. Yeah, there have been a couple of wallets, Firefighter. Appreciate their little insight there, but yeah, there's definitely a couple of wallets, large wallets in particular. They keep feeding the price chart down, but of course that's an opportunity for people. We just don't know when the bottom will be. We've seen people talk about 1 cent, of course, for months now, and of course it's getting closer to that. But nothing's inevitable. The other side of it, of course, is some people are talking about 0.007 cents. That's been out of a big triangle in the Hex chart, and you go down, so it takes you down to about that range. And then other people, of course, saying, just pointing out that the markets are still not quite down there yet. So that's kind of where we are. Anyway, we've got 18 minutes to go. We'll come back to this. We're 858,000 in the current sacrifice, and of course, I posted the link if you want to participate in that. You basically have to descend, read all the details, make sure you do investment due diligence, and of course, you are sacrificing for freedom of time. Is it freedom of time? Yeah, that's the one, sacrifice freedom of time. Now, what else was I going to say about that? That is the official address there. OXCE ends in 2001. That is the official address there. And of course, these are the chains that it accepts tokens from: Ethereum, BSC, Avalanche, and Polygon. You got all these different tokens there. So that's pretty easy to do. All you have to do is basically send funds, any of those tokens to this wallet, and you'll be basically registered, recognized, something like that. That's kind of cool. All right, so we're gonna come back to that. That's in 18 minutes, so we'll come back to that one. Let's get into a couple of the other things. We've got high ore Hex on sale. Says Blockfish King definitely is on sale. It's been on sale since what did we say? New Year's Eve. We had New Year's Eve sale. We've been covering the sales, that's for sure. Let's move that. I'll add that back in there. We've got a few other things as well. We're going to get into some of the new things that are out. We're going to talk about BNB pot. That's pretty cool. We're also going to talk about Power City, so stay tuned for that. It's coming up. Anyway, stock market today, Dow ends higher as a dip buying fever returns to bruised tech. Great to see a nice green day for once on the stock market there. The Dow Jones Industrials up 1%, 345 points to 33,220. That's got the top 30 industrials in it in the United States. The S&P up 1.75%, 66 points to 3,849. Very, very cool. And, of course, NASDAQ with all the tech companies in up a 2.6%. So nice little regain there. 264 points up to 10,478. That is the indices for the U.S. stock market. The dollar is down 0.5% almost, down to 103.7 versus its trading partners there. So a dollar there, risk on, basically. Risk on. We talk about that. Risk on. That is in play. So what else we got going there? The oil prices down 25 cents pretty much on both, down to $83.74 for Brent oil, and a crude West Texas down to $78.62. So nice to see a little reprieve. Tomorrow, during tomorrow's live stream, we'll probably do a year wrap up to see how the markets ended on the year. It'll be the last day of the stock market. And of course, we'll do a wrap up about how crypto and stocks have gone for, over the last 365 days. Yeah, boy. Great. We're coming up to New Year's Eve party. It's already the 30th of December here, Friday, in good old Kiwi land. I know it's still the 29th in North America and Europe and places. It is currently 12:43 in the afternoon here. It's a very sunny day in good old Kiwi land. All right, the Dow Jones Industrial there. The Dow closed higher Thursday as dip buying fever is in beaten down tech and retreat in treasury yields underpin sentiment on stocks. Like I said to you, I think we've got at least January to have a good little run, and we may not get the full hammer in crypto and stuff like that stock market until maybe February. We'll see how we go there. I think we've got a bit of a window of opportunity. It will depend also on financial numbers around inflation, employment, and wages, things like that. So just take that into account. Meta Platforms, which is down about 64% year to date, rallied 4%, followed by a nearly 3% move higher in Apple as the latest recent plunge to its lowest level in 18 months attracted dip buyers. And of course, as well as dip buying momentum, tech was also supported by a fall in treasury yields after data pointing to slower labor market. Woohoo! That's one of the key metrics we want to see because that means the rates won't go as high potentially. And of course, they may not stay up for that long potentially, and we'll maybe get that potential pivot earlier than later. Don't forget, that's going to be pretty exciting. So we're entering into year 2023. Cool. That's good news. So what do we got there? We got the actual 225,000 jobless claims, and of course the forecast was 225. So very, very cool on that one. What else? There's stoked hopes for a slowdown in wage growth and a less aggressive Federal Reserve. The labor market remains very tight. Jeffrey said in a note, adding that it will take a little while longer for the cracks to form as claims are rising from near historic low levels. So there we are, folks, and we're expecting a trade-off of inflation for employment. Kind of where we are looking there. Netflix, meanwhile, jumped 5% after CFRA upgraded the stock from buy to sell and lifted its buy to sell, upgraded to from buy to sell, and of course lifted its price target to $310 to $225, saying it would be difficult for competitors to catch up with streaming giants as it's one of the few profitable streaming providers globally. It may be profitable, but of course it's full of crap. There's so much crap on that Netflix. Hey, but we want the highest of stakes to get on there, so that's all right. I'm going to change my tune just for self-interest. We want the highest of stakes on Netflix. So there we are. Tesla, of course, up 8%, continue to claw back losses as some of Wall Street flags several key milestones that the electric vehicle manufacturer's chief executive Elon Musk needs to achieve to lift sentiment on the stock. Nice little preview there. Musk needs to name a CEO of Twitter by the end of January, adopt a 10b5-1 plan, so investors know there is no major selling block around the corner. In other words, he's already indicated he's not going to sell, but maybe he just does it anyway. And lay out conservative 2023 delivery and targets given the darker macro as well. Top 10 things Musk needs to do by 2023 to turn Tesla sentiment positive. Well, I don't always agree with these analysts and comments, but we'll see what Musk ends up doing. I'm sure he'll do whatever's in his best interest, and of course, maybe generally for the companies that he's made successful. Energy rose more than 1%, shrugging off weakness in oil prices following data showing that weekly U.S. crude stockpiles unexpectedly rose by 718,000 barrels last week. That confounded expectations for a draw of about 1.5 million. What else there? We've got, most of those have done pretty well, up 2%. I think that's it. What's it? There's an unused Beyond Meat. It climbed 9% after McDonald's Corporation said it would roll out the Double McPlant across the UK. I'm not sure what the Double McPlant is there. Let me know in the chat if you know what that is. Is that a USA product of McDonald's? I haven't seen it here in good old New Zealand, so let me know there. It's going to be across the UK as well. So if you're from the UK, then let us know from January the 4th. A Double McPlant. Is that some sort of new hybrid technology plant? I don't know. Double burger. I don't know what that is, but anyway, let us know. All right, so that is pretty much the stock market. This is the second last day, right? We've got one more day of the year for the stock market, and then we'll do a review of how everything is going, how far down the stock markets go, what they might do next year, stuff like that. We already covered that a couple of days ago, and that's kind of where we are. Now let's pivot over to crypto. The hammer has not yet fallen in crypto, and it may not fall for another month or so because January. There's not a lot in January that I can think of. I mean, there's still some of the financial indicators as we talked about, but there's not a lot unless something comes out of contagion. Maybe the Gemini Genesis. I know that the Winklevoss twins are being sued and things like that. So we'll see what is out there that's looming that may take the markets down. Will there be another setup? We know a lot of the big players, some of them have been setting up things. We know Terra Luna was got set up a little bit there. We also know that FTX was setting up with Alameda, setting up certain, attacking stables and all sorts of carry on. So we'll see how all that plays out. In any case, BTC is at 16,641, up 0.6%. Ethereum there back over 1,200, just up 1%. And BNB at $246, up 1% there as well. What else is looking standout here? USDC is just slightly below peg today. Has been at peg for a couple of days. USDT that was under peg is now at peg. It's kind of cool. I'm having a kind of look at some of these ones here. Pretty mixed bag, pretty flat, but it's just slightly positive at the moment as we read it. That's kind of where we are. Let's say hello to a few people in the chat though. Probably got a few more. Hex Hodl's in the house. The market is like the Germans saying Guten Tag. Tight is Hex Hodl there. The M539 BMW restorations popular. YouTube channel says a Guten Tag, lol, says Hex Hodl. I see Hex Hodl in the chat there. You've been away for a couple of days, I think, from memory. And I see you back in house. Solana is setting up for failure, says Brennan. Yeah, I've heard a bit of talk about that. That Solana down here. We did briefly talk about that. I haven't been following it too closely, but I have seen some articles about that. $9.53, down 2% at the moment. All right, let's get over to the Hex chart, of course. Hex at 18 cents. I was going to say 18 cents. 1.85 cents, but it was down below 1.7, the low of the day. How many minutes we got? We got 10 minutes in this chart. This is a daily chart. We got 10 minutes in this candle, and we got down to a low of 1.7 cents, a high of 1.945, currently at 1.815, and we've still got some of the big wallets selling or capitulating, and quite a lot of smaller retail plays buying and selling. So over the last 24 hours, this is the number one trading pair. We've got 4 trading pairs. And this is the number one USDC pair, $4.7 million liquidity in it. And of course, the last 24 hours, we had 534 buys and 280 sells. The buy volume, 1.2 million versus 1.3 million is the sell volume. So 49% to 51%. So it's obviously sellers dominating. You can see that for yourself in the chart there. Red, 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 red. When will it stop? When will it stop? When is the bottom for Hex? When is it? And of course, we know that we've got so many pumpamentals coming. They're not here yet, and they're all reliant on Pulsechain. So many people that sacrifice a Pulsechain, Pulsex, they really are reliant on those things launching. We know that it's going to be a big, vibrant ecosystem, and of course, everything is lining up for the optimum outcome for that. Because we'll have all of the top tier AAA dApps also probably ready by that time. They're very close, most of them. And of course, we'll have not only that, but the Pulsechain, Pulsex as well. and stable coins, fiat on-ramps, off-ramps, exchanges, coin listing sites. That's all going to be available, and the ecosystem will be full. It's not going to be empty, like proof of work or proof of or fair chain. This thing's going to be pretty full. So it's kind of cool like that. And also, obviously, we have a big community. Some people talk about 300,000. I mean, it's going to be pretty big and going to grow really fast. If you've got a community that's somewhere up towards 300,000, you know that when you launch a main chain and it's got everything in it that you can possibly have, it's got the whole buffet, as it were, then you can grow to 1 million, 2 million pretty fast within 3 to 9 months. So that would be no surprise from me at all. That's kind of where we are at this stage. We are still in my expected Pulsechain V3 timeline. We're not quite through there. I've got this going through to the 8th. That's based on KDP's information about the team's discussions with the Pulsechain developers, talking about hold off. Maybe in a couple of weeks we might have the V3 testnet. That is what that's based off at the moment. So far, not here yet, but hey, we're still optimistic. And of course, even if it doesn't fit into this timeline, maybe it's even in January would be pretty cool, right? That'd be pretty exciting. Proof of stake with the 0.25% fee in it. Any other sort of modifications, even at the bare bones, will be pretty cool. Won't have pulse withdrawals for staking, of course, because even Ethereum doesn't have Ethereum withdrawals. That is the next upgrade with Shanghai. So we're going to talk about that. So those are the 24-hour results. In the last 6 hours, of course, we've got 211 buys versus 105. We've got the sellers still slightly above the buyers. In the last hour, we've had a bit of a tuning and got a bit of support in the price there because we've got 19 sales versus 10 buys, 48,000 versus 29 sells. So we've got a look. The last hour or so has been a bit more bullish, a bit more buyers control there. The battle is on, but we still have some big accounts out there that are selling into this. Some of them are capitulating probably. Others the ones that help cause this, and especially related to DO1 wallet. We saw that yesterday. We went into a deep dive into all that. All right, so cool. That is where we are at the moment. What else are we going to talk about here? We're going to talk about the things coming up briefly. We had the ETH merge here on the 15th September. Richard Hart announced instead of forking the proof of work, which was having some issues for sure, we had got the proof of stake. And of course, we also got a couple of weeks after that about some bug in the Ethereum proof of stake that both the Pulsechain and ETH team were working on. Haven't heard a bit more about that. We obviously got that confirmed with Walrus as well from the Liquid Loans team. And we are expecting, obviously, that to probably be resolved. I'm not sure if it has been or not, whether it has to be patched in at some stage. Not sure how they do that. But in any case, we've got the Shanghai fork there coming up in March sometime. And of course, that's EIP 4895. And that will allow ETH withdrawals, kind of finishing off the base proof of stake system for Ethereum. Because obviously, if you can't get your ETH withdrawals out your stake, but you can't get them out, it's a bit of an issue. Now, is that a dumpable event for Ethereum? We'll see. It's not inevitable. Obviously, a lot of people who are willing to stake ETH love ETH, right? They love ETH. So why would they dump it, especially if the price is down at 1,200? And if the price goes down to 700, surely they're not going to dump that unless they front run it, of course. There's always some of those that do that. We'll see. In any case, we'll probably need that for a Pulsechain. Now, whether it's going to be an upgradable event or we're just going to wait till that is in the system and then fork the chain then, that is the question. At the moment, that's kind of looking like the case, right? Until we see V3 test network out, that may very well be the case there. And of course, after that, we've got the V3 liquidity license with asymmetric liquidity provision. And that is on the 1st of April there. 2 years since that time, man. I remember the press release 2 years ago. That's crazy. But anyway, we've got this V3 license expiring, and that's more optional to me, although it'd be better having the actuals rather than an estimation. I guess everyone would say that, although we know from May last year, we were expecting to launch that. Richard put out that the V3 AMM was working. So they'd obviously done some sort of estimation for that. But we'll see. Well, that's more optional. I still see that as optional, even with better actual data. We will see on that one. Obviously, trying to look to create the biggest liquidity pool in PulseX, harvesting the ETH pairs, Sushi Swap, Uniswap, all that sort of stuff. And of course, that makes it really big. So we're trying to do all that sort of stuff as well. You might as well have the most incentives and the biggest liquidity. And of course, that will give you the best chance of success. Nothing is certain, right? Nothing is certain. You're just trying to create the conditions for the best fundamentals, and that plays in well. All right, so that's kind of there. Pulsechain launch, I've still got that there currently in between March and May. That's kind of where I've got that plugged in for mainnet. Testnet, though, we could have one, even a base one there earlier than that. Doesn't have to have ETH withdrawals in it. We could just have it testing with the fee being tested and the S-load function, all that sort of stuff. We will see. All right, so cool. And that may time perfectly with the top of the market rises. So remember, there's 3 phases for the Fed. Raising the rates and then holding the rates and then pulling the rates down, pivoting at the end there. So we're still in that first phase of holding the rates going up to a certain terminal rate. And at the moment, of course, if we get up to the March and we only get 2 more 25 basis point rates, that would get us up to 4.75 to 5% on the federal funds rate. That'd be a nice timing, as you can see, with the Shanghai fork and potentially with the Pulsechain mainnet. And especially if we do end up having an extra one in May, maybe that's the end, then that's pretty good timing anyway around this April-May Fed here. So that's kind of cool. Now, talking about these indicators, I will do a video today, I guess, or tomorrow on the upcoming financial timeline for January. As you guys know, I've been doing that every month. Hopefully that's been useful. And of course, I'll be posting that out on this channel. So you'll see the economic indicators coming up for January. The key ones, of course, will be numbers for December, which will be based on inflation and employment, wages, manufacturing, consumer demand, and things like that. So it should be cool. That is pretty much it at the moment. Not much change there. We are waiting. In any case, there is an opportunity. Wherever people are selling down, there's opportunity. And you can see you can pick up a whole ton of more volume. We're going to quantify that volume, the opportunity a little bit here. Before we do that, though, let's get into the Hex Whalebot, see what's been going on with the larger accounts that we can see. Let's have a look here. So 20 hours ago, 23. So 20 hours ago, we had 35 million staked for 31 days. Another one of these large short stakers. We had 4 million Hex staked for 1,830 days. That's what Hex is about, getting those sweet T-shares. And, of course, they're doing that. We've had quite a few nukes and end stakes and that sort of stuff. And particularly a lot of OG ones, actually. And, of course, there we are. We've got 1,048 days there. We got some nice penalties, 855,000, 1.2 million penalties, 358. So quite a few penalties coming in there. Obviously, if you stake Hex, you're going to get the penalties. You got to ride through the price cycles, and just like the bottom of the bear at the moment. We got the penalties there as well, 434,000 Hex, and so on. So that is the play. So some nice penalties there. Some people staking a bit of a mixed bag today in the Whalebot. Let's jump over to your friend Somi. Your friend Somi here also been identifying some of the whales that, some of the larger holders that are capitulating or driving the market down. We did see DO1 wallet that really capitulated us at 2 cents. We got down to 2.1 cents, and then it decided to dump down again, DO1, and of course it's a sister wallets, and of course still got more left, as I understand it. I think someone said they still had, I'm not sure if it's that particular wallet, but still had 150 million, in one of the wallets. Something. Do you follow good investing principles? Are you scared of red candles? 2 Hex wallets capitulated today. One had 60 million down to 17 million. Another had 10 million. So this, how many hours ago is this? This was just earlier today, actually, an hour and a half ago. And of course, another had 10 million down to 3.5 million. This is from Staker. For every one seller, on average, 3 buyers are accumulating. So we are getting a retail distribution from some of these larger OG accounts in particular. So, hey, look, that would probably be a good thing in the future. So it's just, it's just the way it is. That's what markets do. They drive people out and they pull people in. That's just pretty much it. So that's pretty much it. So you can see a couple of pictures there from this. So cool. We've got a few larger holders playing around there. Now, the other thing I wanted to point out was we talked about value. And of course, Coast, one of the teams that bring a fiat on-ramp, off-ramp, and of course got the weight token, and of course the stablecoin CST. Put a little demonstrator, a little example of the opportunity that's in this. So obviously, in terms of your portfolio value, it's going down in terms of Hex because obviously the price keeps going down. But at the moment, it's got opportunity for buying. So if you're looking from the cup half full point of view, let's demonstrate the power of DCA, dollar cost averaging. If you invest 1,000 into Hex at 52 cents, the top, but then another 1,000 at the current low of 1.8 cents, your average Hex buying now is 3.4 cents. So it's kind of a good way of looking at that. So it's definitely an approach that many have looked at taking up there. And that means that all you need now is the price to go from 1.8 to 3.4, and you'll get back to break even. The other thing, of course, is that Hex is not no ordinary token out there, right? Hex is not only is it well designed with the share rate, but it's also got the Pulsechain fundamentals and the whole ecosystem coming for that as well. And I don't want to get into too much details about that, but there's lots of little fundamentals within that drive. So that is what's coming up. So it's going to be interesting. This is kind of probably like the opportunity of a lifetime in that sense. Obviously not investment advice. You must always do your own investment due diligence. Everything on this channel is just my opinion. But yeah, pretty exciting there. So that was kind of a cool little example of dollar cost averaging, especially if you came into Hex when it was up at 30 cents, 40 cents, 25 cents, whatever. That is a good way of averaging, pulling down your average price, and therefore you don't have to stress so much about it getting back to 30 cents, 40 cents. In that example, you could see that all you have to do is get it back to 3.4 cents. And given all the fundamentals coming up, it's probably a pretty good chance. Obviously, not investment advice. No one knows the future, but we're playing probability on this channel. Probability. All right, so cool. That is pretty much it on the Hex there. Hope you guys enjoyed that coverage. Let's get into the internet money. It is finished. I knew I was going to miss the timing. It is finished. And of course, hopefully, if you participated, you enjoyed that. We're up at 861,852 is the final amount for internet money. So that brings it to a total of $2,444,603. So congratulations to KG and the Internet Money team. Once again, there is a wallet you can download. Just take into account it is still in beta mode. It is real on the EVM chains, but just take into account that. And of course, there's lots of extra details in there. So all the best, man. If they can get a lot of people downloading this wallet, there's obviously referral codes. If they can really get this a really high user count on this, then this will be successful. It will be successful in the base amount. I mean, it'll always be a little bit there, but from a passive income point of view, if it gets up to a decent amount of wallet holders, then this wallet could be pretty special. Also, it's the only wallet that's sort of linked into Pulsechain at the moment. So that's kind of the cool thing there. It's got a big roadmap, as you can see. And I imagine, given the sacrifice amounts, they should be able to get through a lot of this stuff. Obviously, I don't have their cost per feature, but that should be all right. So there. All right. When you download the wallet as well, you do get some IM tokens, and you'll probably get some Pulse when it goes live with the mainnet one. So looking forward to that. So congratulations to KG and their team, and keep up the great work building that out. That's pretty much all we've got to say there. All right. Let's get back in. We're going to get into Hedron. Before we do that, let's see who else has arrived in the chat here. What else there? We got Humberto Gonzalez in the house. Hello from the sunny Miami, the crypto capital of the world. Humberto, the crypto capital of the world. Dank says upwards and onwards, crypto hunks. Yeah, definitely, Dank. And of course, Hex Holder said, yeah, I haven't been chatting a lot, but I pull up the stream on my phone and give it a like anonymously. Says Hex Holder. Nice one, Hex Holder. What's up, my brothers and sisters? He's Hexiest man in the world. And indeed, he is the Hexiest man in the world. Nice to see you in the chat there. And yeah, welcome. Yeah, New Year's Eve, buddy. Hope you get up for that Hexiest man in the world. Got your champagne, got your costumes ready, getting ready for the party. And of course, Refine's in the house. Woohoo! Good to see you, Refine. Humberto says, take advantage of the current Hex prices. It will stop going down on New Year's Day. The sales you are seeing right now are wallets taking losses for tax purposes, says Humberto. I guess there's a bit of that going on too, Humberto. So good insight there from Humberto. We have the Pulsecon coming up. No, that's not Pulsecon. We have the Hex conference coming up there. The documentary, we definitely have that. The testnet V3, yep. And the Pulse launch, yep. Also 23 for Diamond Hands. Woohoo! That is true. That very well said, the Humberto. Mix in the house there. Woo! Good to see you, mixed. Brendan says Wales only said yesterday. Oh, Wales only. Was he streaming yesterday? Okay, cool. Said yesterday on a stream that 6% T-shares are out of total supply since big payday. Get them while you can. Yeah, well, we've been talking about that on this channel every day. The T-shares are going down, and it's going to be harder to, even with good growth, the T-share supply expected to probably fall. So yeah, that's definitely the case. Hitch the T-share payer, right? Yeah. Well, I say that every single day, Brennan. I say it every day. Every day I go, here's the reward pool, here's the ownership pool, it's going down. I do it every day. Anyway, all right, so Lau says, is Pool B now active? Is Pool B now active? Are you talking about from Phantasma? I think it's over. It's all over, Lau. The internet money sacrifice is over. But there is the famous one that's on at the moment. Anyway, we've got Hedron has been following Hex down as well. So it's down at 10,032. Did make a little bit of a fight back, though, yesterday, as you can see in the green candle. But at the moment, it is down to 1032. We've just rolled over a day, so we've got 7 minutes into the next hour, but this candle doesn't seem to have updated. But anyway, that is Hedron. It has 29 buys versus 16 sells, so not so many buyers in this one. 17,000 versus 24,000 on the buy versus sell volume. So 41% buy volume, 59% sell volume. The last 6 hours, still pretty similar trend. The last hour, we had 2 buys in the last hour, so nice and green there. Only $203 though, unfortunately. So that is there, just being left to the side. There are a few other projects taking attention. It happens too, right? People move to their attention to a different token, and we'll be seeing what happens here. Icosa, of course, let's have a look. Is 4,518 Hex HSIs in the liquidation queue that have not yet been pulled into the auction. So 4,500. Remember, in February, we're coming up to the next wave of major auctions. And of course, probably next major wave of burning. So I think it's over 25,000 T-shares for that. Let's have a look here. We've only got 8 in the auction house today. 8 are live for bidding, so you can bid on these if you want. There's no really, there's one large one there, 750,000 X. It's got 93 T-shares in it. That's closing in 15 hours. So it's got 4.1 billion Hedron bid on it so far. So obviously with the price of Hedron going down, you're probably getting even more value now. Getting more value, the lower the price of the Hex and the Hedron go, the more implied value, particularly if you're bullish about all the things that we talk about coming up in 23. Then yeah, this may be maybe a bonanza picking up some of these T-shares, juicy T-shares this way. People are getting big discounts even compared to the market price of Hex at the moment. So that is pretty much Icosa. There's nothing really new from Dev Huey, so we're going to jump through that and leave that one behind us. Let's go. We're going to get into Zen now. Obviously, Zen being one of the very topical projects at the moment. Previously, we've been talking about Pulse Bitcoin, ASICs, and of course that we will be coming back to talk about them. But of course, they're just chumming along at the moment. So we're focused on the stuff that's got a lot of activity happening. And of course, Zen NFTs founder Jack Levin, Google employee number 21, as we say, Google employee number 21. And of course, we can see the activity on this chain has been pretty structured there. So you can see all my price little support lines there broke out of this corner here. I thought that would, and off it's gone there. Now this is currently at 5,759 on the old Zen price. It did peak out back here on the 29th, got up to 7272, and with 5 zeros in front of it, 7272, now at 5759. The last 24 hours, 805 buys versus 727 sells there. Pretty much even here, just slightly less buying than sellers, 49% to 51, but around about $2 million. Last 6 hours, let's have a look at that. Yeah, the last 6 hours, the buyers got flipped, so there's more sellers. And that's probably reflecting this pullback here. You can see in the chart here, down to 134 buys to 160 with 415,000 volume versus 436 with a 4% point difference between those two. And in the last hour, what's happened here? Last hour, 30 buys versus 36 sellers, and the seller volume still being a bit higher there. You can see in the chart there, so it's kind of cool. But hey, look, it's kind of done. Normally when a chart comes down here, and it comes up to a point here, normally it's going to, and it doesn't get higher, normally it's going to go down, right? Normally that's going to go down. When it comes up here, comes back up, doesn't make a new high, it's going to normally go down. But at the moment, this has still got plenty of time to run. And of course, here we are at 5760. So it's going to be interesting to see where this can push higher from here, because it does have some catalysts that may help that happen. So we're going to find out. Otherwise, typically this will go down. But this one here does have some opportunity. We'll see. Remember, this is all speculative, the Zen project. And of course, I've tried to simplify it for people. People go, what the heck is going on with this project? And I say, well, it's got pretty much 3 or 4 phases in it. It's got the inflation phase. But then, of course, we're in day like 83 now, 84. I think it's day 83. And of course, we've got deflation, NFTs, ZNFTs, and deflation. So we've got inflation, then ZNFTs, and deflation only 84 days later, which is pretty quick, right? And of course, remember the founder is, a very talented developer as well as a founder. So got both those together. And then, of course, the third phase looks like there's going to be some sort of NFT staking and potentially lending and possibly leverage in there. And who knows what else is going to be in the mix here. This could be a lot of different things. Remember, this is different from Hex. Hex is trying to be a store of value, whereas Zen is trying to be a medium of exchange. And of course, trying to achieve those outcomes takes time. And of course, he's targeting 100 million actual users. So that is a medium of exchange. You need that sort of number of people, not only to get the value up, but also to get get it as a true medium of exchange. We're using all over the place, whether it's for dApps or in the real world. That is kind of where you're trying to head. Now, I've made some speculations depending on where he might head with that. We will see. So we've got inflation, ZNFTs, deflation, staking and lending. There's kind of some of the main functionalities, but there could be a lot more in the roadmap easily. So that's kind of where we are there at the moment. So 5,760. I don't know if this price is going to hold up very well. We're coming up to the NFT countdown. So let's get into that. Where is the countdown here? Here. So there are 22 hours and 12 minutes to go. 22 hours and 12 minutes to go until the ZNFTs launch. And of course, the burn event will take place. So people are going to burn their Zen and, of course, get the NFTs with the benefits and features of those NFTs. So that's kind of where we are, 22 hours and 12 minutes. We're going to see how that goes. Obviously, this is also attracting in the NFT market, which is pretty big in crypto. So that we'll see how this 22 hours and 12 minutes to go. So there is a bit of room for this chart to do something. Now, the chart may just get some paralysis in the chart. And, of course, people will be waiting to see how much burn actually goes through. So we're going to talk about that in a second. Before we do that, though, Jack Levin's latest updates on Twitter. He did a press release 3 hours ago for Fair Crypto Foundation. And within that, he did, this is the press release here. And basically this goes, what is Zen? So I'm not going to go through that because we talked about that before. What is Zen Torrent Protocol and ZNFTs is basically what's about to launch in 22 hours. And of course, it is basically ERC 721 with the underlying Zen contract inside it. So the ERC 20 with how you can mint and claim that sort of stuff. So, but the thing is, it's going to be tradable, be a bit like a futures contract where you can try and value the future. We'll see how that goes. But it's also going to have the NFT's own characteristics of being rare. And of course, implicit in the value that's being burned for it. So it's a pretty big deal. And what else there? We've got the timeline, of course, which we've already got a countdown, so that's going to be launching there as well. And this is a press release, so pretty nice. Again, that press release out, and of course, quite a few exchanges have been interested. We know Gate.io, Mexi, Huobi are all interested. And there's probably going to possibly be more. There's been rumors, of course, like all projects of places like Binance. We will see. But they have done a lot of wallets. One thing I would like to point out here is that this comment here. So let's get to this part here. The Zen NFTs come in 3 different categories. The Apex is the limited by the amount and requires burning of Zen to mint. The limited is limited by time and will only be able to mint for 365 days. And will also require burn. That burn is 10 million Zen. So there's going to be this continuous burn even after the Apex ones have gone. So that's a big deal. Collector, which is the 3rd category of NFTs, does not require burn. The current supply. So this is the highlight that you probably wanted to look at here. The current supply of Zen is roughly 2.7 trillion. All Apex NFTs will require 15.5 trillion. So that is what people are looking at. And of course, that is what people will be looking at in this chart. Will the chart just zigzag in here? The next 24 hours, will it pump up to another price level? Will it pump up to another price level and then go sideways, waiting for the burn? We will see. There's obviously 22 hours where this could pump up. And I just have a feeling it may very well do that. Obviously not investment advice, it's speculative. But it kind of feels like it will do that. And then maybe it goes sideways to see what happens with the burn. How many people take up the burn? And then, of course, I expect to sell off. I do expect to sell off, even with a good burn. I do still expect to sell off here. We will see. Now, if the burn is high and consistent, that may stop a big sell-off, but we'll still get volatility. And of course, so maybe we can hold this value or higher. If the burn is absolutely fantastic, then this could elevate the price. The price could actually continue to go up. So really, people are going to be watching this burn because you got 2.7 trillion versus 15.5. How much are we going to get? 30%. Jack's talked about something like that off the market cap. We'll see. This is kind of where we are. This is the big fundamental. 2.7 trillion in circulating supply. Now, a lot of that's about 35% of that sitting in the top 3 exchanges. So people that have their stuff on those exchanges have to withdraw them to go and burn it. So that'd be an interesting mechanism as well. So it's actually less if you think about it from that point of view. So what's that? Maybe $1 trillion or so, maybe on those exchanges. So that is a big limitation, making this even more pumpalicious as well. So we're going to have to see what will the market decide to do, and of course have these NFT mints there. So it's going to be fun to see. And as you can see, I love this stuff. This is really fun. We're going to see where this leads to. Remember, a lot of cryptos experiment, and of course, I think this is a top quality possible play. First with the inflation, of course, we knew the chart was just going to go down, but now this has changed the game with the NFT and the burns. And of course, then we've got the further staking down the line and potentially lending and leverage and all sorts of stuff, and much more. If you're looking at trying to make a medium exchange, then you want lots of exchanges to have it. You want start to get some particularly maybe some corporate involvement. If he's got links to Google and still got some of those doors that are open, then he sort of says, hey, we've got trillions of Zen still out there over the next 8 years. Remember, we're looking at something like 550 trillion over 8 years, something like that. Obviously, it's a lot could get burned in the short term with the Zen mints, plus with the limited category. So these are the ones that are expected to burn 15.5 trillion Zen. These ones here, there's only 10,000 NFTs. The top one is the Zen Unicorn, 10 billion each required for that. Only 100 of those. That's $1 trillion, folks. And we only got 2.7 trillion at the moment. That is $1 trillion. That is $1 trillion right there. But then we've got 900 exotics. That is 5 billion for those. So that's even more. And of course, then after that, we've got, what's that, 4.5 trillion there. So you can see how this is going to eat up. And so this really makes the next 12 to 16 months particularly scarce, doesn't it? Particularly if people continue to use this as the minting mechanism and get these rare Zen NFTs here. So it's going to be fun to see it. Nothing is certain, but it's definitely pretty game orientated, I think so. So it's going to be fun to see that. Now, this is the limited category. Obviously, this is based on time. Issuance is for 365 days since the moment of the Zen torrent contract. And of course, that's going to count down. You can get a lot of VMUs as 100 or more. I think it goes up to 128. I think that's restricted by the gas function. So it gets up to about 128. So 100 or more, I think it's 128 is the top number. The amount of Zen is burned is 10 million for these limited. So even after if the apex get eaten up, which would be super bullish in the short, medium term for Zen, and even longer term, the Zen limited, they've still got this burn pretty much going on all the time as well. 10 million, they'll probably get pretty popular, particularly for the retail book, right? We've got the collector as well. That doesn't require any burn. That's also there, and it's also based on the Zen times the number, how long you're going to be there. So you've got the power there. The VMU basically means a wallet, and of course times the term, how many days you are staking for, and that will give you the power, right? So the amount of wallets times the amount of days that you're minting for, that will give you the power. And of course, that will rank your rarity of ruby amongst the collector items, which is the third category. And of course, you've got ruby, opal, topaz, emerald, aquamarine, sapphire, amethyst, and centurion here. Of course, this is the bigger one, right? So if you got more wallets times longer days, that's going to get you to 52,501 plus that long. So the longer you do. So pretty exciting. We'll see how this goes. You know me, I love these sort of fun game stuff. This is what makes crypto fun. And of course, we're largely focused on probable plays on this channel, with particularly staking and more conservative investments. But it's fun to see some of these kind of innovations in the space. So we're watching that pretty closely. Now, 22 hours to go until this launches. So what will happen to this chart here? Will we get up, start challenging 10,000? I don't know. It's definitely got the chance to do that in the next 22 hours, given the upward momentum. It was a little bit concerning not getting a new high here, but maybe it's just going to dip down. We still have the catalyst to go higher. But then after that, you've got to say, what is the actual burn? If the burn is not super significant, we could see easily a sell-off in here. And even if that's a temporary sell-off, because maybe burn, is significant over a longer time frame, then that would start elevating the potentiality in the price, right? Because people are going to say, hey, look, there's not actually that much around. Now, just to wrap this up, so we've got Jack Levin there. I think Jack Levin's also going to be, where is it here? He's going to be on Levin's show coming up here on Trayvon's show. So I'll copy a post link to that if you want to go and watch that or listen to that. That's coming up there as well. Zen NFT will raise Zen supply with Jack Levin. Now, if that is significant, then this is game on. I think it's probably positive regardless over the longer period of time. It's just how fast it happens and, over what time is kind of the questions that we have, and it's uncertain. There's certainly a lot of interest out there. It's just how much that, translates into actions, so that's kind of cool. All right, that is pretty much it. I'll also post the link to this table if you want to look at that as well, just in case you are trying to find out more details on this. Remember to do your own investment due diligence. Nothing on this channel is investment advice. Just remember that as well. All right, so cool. I think we're going to jump away from all those. Now, that is the timer as well. That is the clock timer. So if you want that, I'll post that in the chat as well. Zen timer. And bam, that is there. So you can check that out. Bam, if you want that. So that is counting down 22 hours to go. But let's get into the supply. I'm going to give you a quick wrap up of the supply. This is Zen Turbo dashboard. You can find these links in our Discord under Pulsechain projects. And of course, we've got all the Zen ones down the bottom of the Pulsechain project list. And this is currently the supply. This is real-time numbers. We've got total supply just under 2.7 trillion, as per that that press release that Jack did. But liquid supply is actually low. It's 2.5 trillion. And remember, quite a bit of this is actually stuck on centralized exchanges, Huobi, Gate.io, and MEXC. And of course, I think it's something like 35%. You can check the percentages on the Etherscan under the holders tab. But I think it's something like that. So it's got a bit of stickiness to it. The total staked amount at the moment is only 145 billion Zen. Remember, it's 20% APY. It goes down 1% every 90 days. So it's slowly going to go down the staking rewards. The Zen gas used a massive 15,232 ETH has been used and contributed to a really low ETH inflation environment. And of course, a nice payout to ETH stakers as well. Every day, we've got at least 3 accounts that are top gas users in the old Zen, old Ethereum network there. They're just burning gas. And of course, you can see why $20 million at the current price of ETH has been used. So it's pretty insane in the braino. What else did we got there? We've got the hash power there as well. Some cool numbers here. I'm not going to go through all of these. Let me just jump right here. We've got currently 7 people minting at the moment. The Gwei is 13, so it's getting down to that cheap time when a lot of people will mint because it gets cost effective. The lower your average cost is kind of just one of those features in there. If you did have if you were logged on, you'd be able to see your own minting here as well, plus on the claim monitor. That's where you can see. I've done a video on this, so you can go check that out. Now, this is where I wanted to get down to is the main details. So we're going to go down to the supply here. So we've got the Zen distribution. So we can see that there's just over 2.5 trillion at the moment. This is going up every day, about 70 trillion or so. And of course, we also have some of that 5%, 5.4% is staked. But remember, out of this liquidity, quite a bit of it stuck on exchanges as well. So people actually have to get it off there. So that's the way it goes. So cool. Some people forget when you do minting for Zen, you must claim it at the end. If you don't claim it within a week, you lose the whole lot. It goes, increasingly. So 1.29% of Zen has been lost in penalties. People just haven't claimed properly. And I know that Trayvon was one of those. Now, here is the estimate of the total supply over 8 years. This is the estimate. Now, this can change, of course. 545 trillion Zen is expected over 8 years. Remember, you're going to get year 2, year 4, year 6. You have different percentages of the supply. Remember, this is a log2 function. So it sort of starts off with high inflation and then tapers off into a more deflationary angle on the supply. So really getting in early on these projects, getting a lot of the coins is typically the play here. And of course, the Zen NFTs and the burns help to accelerate that, particularly over the next 14 months, say. So that is kind of where we are at the moment. So far, 39.2 trillion has been mined. In other words, people have not yet claimed this. This is coming up in the future. And of course, the mining process is currently at 7.18%. The unmined stuff that has not yet been mined by people, they have to pay gas fees for it on the ETH chain. Remember, this is on 10 chains, but we're just focusing on the ETH chain. is 506 trillion, with the total being 545. So you can see that in the first 40 months going to be very, very bullish, especially imagine if all that 15.5 trillion gets burned, and then of course the limited category people continue to burn 10 million Zen as well. That could be bullish also. If you look at the timeline here in the future of all the stuff that's claimable, that yellow line is the accumulated numbers. The green line is the daily claimable numbers that people are mining, and of course they get to claim that, and that gets added into the circulating supply, which is around about 2.5 trillion at the moment. So we can see that we've got kind of all these people front running short people. These are back from the back in the past. The people have been mining that, so they would be very well in the money at the moment. And of course, people that are coming in now, they probably won't be. Probably take you a bit longer, maybe 21 days, 30 days, or something like that to get your stuff out, and you don't know what the market price is going to be at that time. But in any case, you can see that there's a bit of a dip in here. All the way from where we're going to talk about, maybe from the end of March all the way through to, I don't know, August, September. You can see there's pretty low candles, apart from a couple of little standouts there. And the circulating, the mining amount just keeps coming up. So we know that by the time, let's see what the number is here. We've got 2.5 trillion at the moment. So let's see, we've got 15.5 trillion inside the Zen NFTs. So let's see how long that would take us to get there. I'm just trying to get the right frame there. So yeah, we would be, probably based on the people that are mining at the moment. Now, remember, people can still come in and mine. You're not really ever too late for this at the beginning, because you can set the amount of days that you want your mining to go for and have that Zen come out in this time frame. But at the moment, on today's numbers, we're currently, if all the 15.5 trillion was eaten up, then we take the 2.5 trillion supply that we've got at the moment, and that's a big ask, right? Because a lot of it's sticky and stuck on exchanges and other stuff. But let's assume that it's all liquid and we can move it around and burn it on the NFTs. That's 2.5 trillion. Plus, we've got 13 trillion coming up by October. October 23. This is the middle time frame. Is October 23. That's 13 million. So 13 plus 2.5. That's 15.5 trillion. That would mean that, and if it was all burned through those 10,000 NFTs, that's the ultimate theoretical case. Then that would be zero supply in the market, zero supply. So that's how bullish this is, and so we could see some fun things happening in the Zen project in terms of the price over this period of time. Now, what is the uptake of that? Is it 30%, like Jack sort of indicated, possibly? Is it 50%? Is it, and how does it play out over this time period? But you can see why people are getting excited about potentially scarcity in this play. While in the meantime, the wallets are increasing, the number of users that are getting attracted to the project are increasing. And remember, this is based on the growth function, the log2, and also the network effect is kind of part of the play, and the ultimate goal to become some sort of medium exchange. We'll see. That's a big ask, but so far it's going pretty well. I think most people would agree. So there we are. That is pretty bullish on the next time frame. So some people are doing staking ladders in terms of strategies, doing staking ladders, maybe trying to benefit from any parabolic rises in this chart. And of course, if we look at SHIB, for example, you can see it's had some extreme variables in here. I don't think, I think the supply is a good comparison, but they don't have the burning and they don't have the fair first principles where they've got the equal allocation. There's no, almost 50% with the main team. There's none of that sort of carry on. I think the price chart's going to look very different from the SHIB one. So I don't think SHIB is a particularly good example of the way it was, because it has that big spikes in the middle and then it's way down as inflation just floods the market and the price just goes down. Which is what we originally expected. You got no burning feature. So yeah, and by the time we get up to the end of December, we've got 36.5 trillion plus 2.5, so that gets up to 39 trillion based on people that are mining today. Obviously, we've got more people mining every single day, so it's going to go up and away. And of course, we are expecting around about 545 trillion over this period of time. That's kind of where we are. So it's a pretty big deal. So yeah, going to be fun to see this out. So let's say 39 trillion. We get 5.5 trillion burn plus 10 million, all the other burning features through the limited NFTs. Then could have half the supply. But by this time, you're going to have so many people in the market that are demanding the same, even if there's only 15 trillion net. You take 39 off 15, so that's going to get you to what 25 is it? Then you've got more people all demanding those tokens. So it's going to be fun to see this play out. But definitely medium term, say 8 to 14 months, this is going to be particularly exciting for this project. We'll see. A lot of, I think some of there's pretty good signs. We're going to see how it goes, though. Nothing on this channel is investment advice. Of course, there's a speculative play. But excited to see some of the things here. Hey, look, we just hit back at 6,000 there. So this thing has got 22 hours to go or so. It's going to be fun to see this play out. That is pretty much my quick rundown. Hopefully that's been insightful for people. So if I summarize it, we've got 2.5 trillion, 15.5 trillion. That could last all the way through to the end of the year or even into the beginning of 24. That could have quite a profound impact on the price. In terms of phases, we've got the inflation phase, the NFT deflation phase, and then, of course, potentially NFT staking, and, of course, lending leverage and other things like that down the line there. Now, that NFT staking, that would take off the supply off the market, right? So they would be taking off NFT supply. We also know that there's going to be trading fees for the NFTs, and, of course, that's been lifted to 5%, with 2.5% going to buy back Zen on the market. So there's another pumpamental. So very, very cool to see that. This things are growing up pretty well here. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, remember, this is on 10 chains as well. Maybe the Polygon chain does well. The BSC chain does well. These NFTs will be launching on there too. The same mechanics. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see this play out. Now, hopefully that's probably where I'm going to end there on this one. So check out all that sort of stuff. Now, the Zen dashboard is in the Pulsechain links under the Zen category there. You can check that out. Now, remember, this is also the bigger this gets in terms of the medium exchange, the more people it pulls. The more people it pulls in, and of course, this flows into Pulsechain. So all these projects, they're all directly, indirectly flying into Pulsechain with people that will hear about Pulsechain come participate. So that's also coming up. So it's a cool little thing there as well. All right, so that is Zen. We're going to get into BNB pot. Which is the other big project that's doing pretty cool things in the last 24 hours. We're going to talk about that. Before we do that, though, let's get into some of these other comments. I think, let me just, I'm going to end the poll, by the way. I'm going to end the poll for Zen for the internet money. Let's see how that got on. Have you or are you participating in the internet money wallet sacrifice? Nope, 44%. Yes, Pulsechain first sacrifice, 24%, so 1 and 4. That's pretty cool. Yes, multi-chain 20%, so that's 1 and 5. Maybe before it closes 10%, so maybe some people snuck in there at the end there. That was 74 votes, so a big shout out to you and all the very best. So I'm looking forward to it myself, the Internet Money Wallet. It can be a bit of fun. All right, we're going to get in the BNB pot. Before we do that, let's catch up on some more of the comments, as I was saying. We're up to here. What did I get up to? Brennan says, I know you do, Superman, says Brennan. Yeah. Hey, Steve Wright from Santa Barbara's in the house. You help keep an eye on the prize, Steve Wright, Santa Barbara. Hey, Steve Wright, always a pleasure, man. Great to see you in the chat there. There's a bit of a guest celebrity in the chat there. Paul C says, have you seen Hexkins and the time value of a Money miniseries 2022? Says Paul C. No, I actually haven't. So feel free to leave a link in the Discord. The link's in the video description there. Paul, you can post that. Brennan says his roadmap shows we will be down 40% total supply of T shares in 12 years' time. Crazy. Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable to me. There, Brennan, that sounds like a good prediction. Hexola says maybe even faster because of early in-stakes. Yeah, so this is one of the effects that we get when the price of Hex goes down. We get a lot of early in-stakes and we get redistribution. So, yeah, really good point. Brennan says Hex hodl, true. That doesn't take into mass adoption either. Yeah, and mass adoption is the counter factor, but the share rate's going up. So that's the other thing. People have to sort of go longer as well. Hex hodl's off. Good to see a Hex hodl as well. Laters. What else there? My car battery terminal is loose and trying to fix it before the total darkness is Hex hodl. Nice. You need it for the McDonald's run there, Hex hodl. You need it for the McDonald's run. What else there? We got the Sandy Beach. Hi, Hex Token, everybody. I'm back. Good to see Sandy back. And Hexforce won 75 million Hex just in stakes. Hexforce won. We're going to probably check that out maybe. IMD sacrifice ended. It did. We talked about the results. It was pretty good. What was it 848,000, somewhere in that ballpark for the multi-chain. Christian's in house. Hey, familiar. Good to see you, Christian. And of course, I have billions of Zen on BSC. Dogechain, ETH, EVMOS, Phantom, Polygon, get to work, nerds, says Dank. That's one there. That was pretty funny. All right, let me make sure I'm up to date here. We're talking about the other big project that's done something big over the last 24 hours. obviously with Zen coming up, this is happening now. And of course, $6.63 is the price of BNBP on the BSC chain. There's a BSC chain. And of course, this is the first Sacrifice project to launch for Pulsechain. And of course, it has launched on the BSC chain. It's getting its products launched. It's getting everything tested. It's going to be pretty cool. We should get 3 benefits at least from this: the wealth effect, the new audience coming into Pulsechain too, and the games all tested and up and running. So that's all ready just to plant over on Pulsechain. So it's going to be pretty cool. Remember, they're doing 5 EVMs. This is the first Pulsechain Sacrifice that's actually launched, and it's been, in my view, very successful. And of course, we're going to watch it success over the next year or two. In particular, it's going to be fun. Now, it's the world's first peer-to-peer crypto casino, so it's new technology in crypto. And of course, it takes a bit longer to get everything up and running when you're decentralizing a casino like this. So it's pretty cool. Now, we're looking at from the staker's point of view, of course, staking our BNBP and getting some of the rewards from the profits from the casino itself. At the moment, yesterday, it pumped all the way from $6.19 to $8.30. Today, it has been as low as $6.38, as high as $7.51. Currently at $6.63. We can see over the last 24 hours, does it have the data? No, it doesn't have the data there. We got 60 buys and 75 sells with 42K in volume. That's kind of where we're at the moment. All right, let's jump over to the actual platform. This is where it happens. And of course, we're going to talk about the fact that we've had Jackpot. That's the first game. It's been up and running for quite a bit of time now. And what is it, 80 days, 85 days? I can't remember now, something like that. And, of course, we've got 15,162 games have been played on the old BNB Jackpot there. But we're going to jump over to the second game that's been launched. And, of course, this is Roulette. And it is live. I actually looked at this yesterday, and it was live when I looked at it. Just as I looked at it, it had just had its first couple games played. I did post little images of those in our Discord under new Pulsechain projects. And, of course, you can see the very first couple of games that people played. We can see that the table's up and running. These are NFTs, so this is not owned by a centralized person. Whoever won the NFT, they own this table. So we've got BNB table here. We've got a BNBP table. They're all won by auction. People have to pay for them. BUSD here, Cake, and Ethereum. And we've also got Zen in there as well. Hello, Zen, down there since we're talking about you. Now, I'm not fully sure of what's going on here, but we've got max bet is $10. A minimum bet is $5. Pretty easy to see. We've got some sort of contract here, and then we've got these dollar values with 10%. So I'm not exactly sure what these dollar stuff is reflecting, whether it's reflecting turnover or winnings or liquidity. I don't think it's liquidity, so maybe it's turnover. I'm not quite sure, but we've got all these different gains here. Now, each token is going to have different preferences. Obviously, the BNBP is the native token, and typically you get a $30 value. So I'm not sure how that plays into this game for Roulette, but definitely that's the case for Jackpot. You can see all the activities. Look at all the games down the side here. People playing, some people winning, some people losing in red, you can see. So there we are. There's got people winning, losing, and winning. That's a casino for you, right? That's iGaming, as we say. So that's kind of that. You can see that all these ones are dominated for BNBP at the moment. So I'm not sure whether they've just, I have seen other games for BNBP. I've seen some Cake and some Zen plays. And anyway, let's have a look at the BNBP though, since we've got so many games being played in there. And of course, we jump into there and voila, roulette, roulette, roulette. Now we've got the minimum bet $5, maximum 25. We've got the owner of the NFT, and of course we've got liquidity in there at the moment. There's $1,362, so 205 BNBP. It says in there at the moment. You can actually switch table in here as well. That is liquidity. So those dollars numbers that we saw. It's got the liquidity of each table that have been put up by the NFT holders. Now, I imagine that they're going to start off with low liquidity, just let the game play out, and then probably increase liquidity over time. That's what I reasonably expect there to see. So at the moment, you've got your bet. If you link up your wallet, you'll be able to connect, and then you'll be able to bet. And, of course, you can do an unapproved limit, unlimited as well if you wanted to, in terms of being able to bet over and over. Minimum bet is $5, remember. And, of course, this is linking in with Chainlink, and there's a little fee inside the contract for Chainlink, right? People call the Chainlink there. What else there? Your bet, edit value, multiplier, click the board to place a bet. So click the board to place a bet. You would have to go down here to the table, and I believe they switched from European to American, I think is what happened as well. And, of course, you can pull a table. So if we went for red, say, that's going to give us pretty much if it was a 50%, yeah, 2x multiplier. So if we put in down $5, we win, we'll get $10 pretty much. If we put $5 down, we lose the $5. So it's kind of that there. Now, obviously, we can take higher risks. We could go for this middle one here, the second. And of course, let's get rid of that. We have the second one here. That's going to give us all these. If we get any of these numbers, we will win. And of course, that is a 3x multiplier. So we get 3 times our money, put $5 in, get $15, right? So it's kind of cool. Now, we could go really risky. We could do one of these other ones here, other spots here. So we could go for a number. So a number there. And if I go number 9 red, that would give us a 36x, a 36x. If it hit number 9, we'd get 36 times the number. So that'd be pretty cool. So that'd be worth hundreds of dollars, right? Up to the maximum limit. Now, it is limited by liquidity. So I think your max bet is limited by the liquidity that's in the pool. Obviously, they can only let a game be played if they've got the liquidity there for it. Now, that's kind of where the play goes. Now, obviously, if you're owning the NFT, over time, you should generally it'd be very unlikely for you to lose all your liquidity. In most cases, I guess, it could happen. But over time, you should just earn more than you put in there. You should be getting the house edge and that sort of stuff kind of thing. So I'm not sure if there's any guidance, any rules in here about that yet. So it might be FAQ or something like that. I'm not sure if there's anything else. But that's kind of the play there. I'm not sure if we hit here. What's it going to do? If I hit there, nothing on there. I'm not sure if you actually run a game. I haven't played a game yet. But if you run a game, maybe it pops up and shows stuff there. I did see a little promo from BNBP. So we're going to have a quick look at that because that was on Twitter. And, of course, we're going to jump to Twitter there. So they posted this 2 hours ago. Full on a chain roulette running on BNBP, secured by Chainlink. We are just getting started, and they are indeed, because we've got another game coming up and more games to come. This is the video. So let's have a quick look at this. I'm not sure if this was a real game because I'm just not sure. But so look, this is on BNBP. So at the time, I think this is just a testnet version. This video. So just remember, I don't think the numbers don't reflect the reality of the live version. So let's have a quick look at the video. So in this testnet version, it looks like number 32 was the number, and of course the person lost. Now this is a fictional dollars here, but they lost 14,000 in this particular case. So if you lose, obviously you lose your money that you bet on there. If you win, you could get whatever the multiplier is that you have on there. So that's kind of cool. So that is the table there. So obviously once you bet and you connect, it will run the game, and you will see the winnings there. So it's kind of cool. I like that. That's basically roulette. If you played roulette, that's roulette, and it's one of the exciting games in my view. I do really like it a lot. Anyway, you can pick up any line. So you could do this line here. That's a 33x as well. You can close off any bets just by hitting the X there. But, this is a 3x there. Let's see what else we got there. We've got the 1 to 18. That's a 2x. We got the 0. What does the 0 get us? That's a 36x. And the 00, that's a 37x. A 37x looks like the biggest play that you can make. So there we are. That's kind of cool. There's a default bet value as well. You can play with that. It's got a little indicator there. You can play around with that with your default bet. Obviously, the minimum is $5, and that's partly reflecting the Chainlink, calling the Chainlink there. But they can see all the people that have been playing and the winners and losers in there as well. There's been quite a bit of winners, actually, the last couple of tables on the looks of it. So there we are. Good luck to you. So that is the second game. So what does that mean for stakers? We're staking BNBP. That means we've got another game now, potentially, if it has good turnover. Then that typically, all things equal, will increase the turnover of the game. That means more airdrops, more lotteries, higher lotteries, and more burns. Importantly, burns, and more tokens will be burned. And that decreases the supply from 1 million down lower and lower. So now it's down, getting close towards 997. So let's have a quick look at the overall numbers as well. Actually, I think I've got to reset this because let me just do that. Oh, what's happened there? I might have to reset my screen here. So we've got, let's have a look at the staking. We've got 77.44% staked. The participation wallet, which is the launch bonus, is 88 days to 100. So it's 12 days left before the first stakes coming out. And of course, this will be paid out too in that time frame, I guess. We've got 5 million in lock value, 77.44%. It's going to be interesting. We've got two things coming up. The participation wallet being paid out. We've got to absorb that. And secondly, also the staking percentage have got to restake. So that's kind of the two values coming up there on the challenging side. On the positive side, of course, we've got new games coming out, potentially new volume, and of course, increasing the overall turnout. Kind of the turnover is kind of the light logic there. Let's jump over to. Let me just jump out of here. I've gone too far on this screen. We've got a lottery there. So 39 lotteries have been paid out. We've already got one building up for another payout there. The burn events, we've had 42 burn events. We've already got 11 BNBB and coming up for the next one. So we're down to 997,199 total supply. So that is slowly decreasing. That's just another one of the pumper mentors. So that's kind of cool. The airdrops, we've had 3 airdrops. The 4th airdrop is coming up in 21 hours. So if you're staking BNBP, you're about to get paid within the next 24 hours. And there's 2,324 BNBP eligible for that. And you also get it paid out based on your percentage of the staking pool, right? So that's kind of cool. Participation phase, 12 days until distribution. That is kind of, I guess, that and staking percentage are the only 2 things in front of us in terms of challenges. And of course, there'll be a redistribution phase on that as well. But in the meantime, we're going to get more games, potentially more volume. And of course, this is a sort of a 12 to 24 month play, but it could get pretty exciting as time goes by. We'll be watching out for that. So that is kind of that for that. Let me look at the general there. We've got the highest single win has been 104,000. The luckiest winner had 0.12%. They won 0.12%. They won $5,500. That's pretty neat. We've had what else there? Total volume of gaming, $20,766,000 in total volume there. So more games, everything equal. Hopefully, we'll get more volume increasing up there, and that will increase all the rewards. So going to be cool to see that. Very nice. All right, I've gone through everything. I think I have. And a participation wallet, as I said, is 84%, so almost 85% the way through. Once the last one is won, then that will be allocated, but approximately 12 days maybe. Obviously, this has got to finish allocating, so even if the stake comes out in 12 days, maybe it's a few days after that. We'll see. Cool. That is pretty much it. There are referral codes. You can put your referral code out. People play. You get a bit of this launch phase pool as well. So that might be something you want to think about. But once again, up to you. That is the exciting news for BNB Pot. And of course, the next game to come out is Powerball. We're looking forward to Powerball. That will come out too. So we'll look forward to that. Not sure why my screen went blank, but that's pretty much it on BNBP. You can find BNBP, of course, in the Spotlight project on Discord if you want to find all the links to that. And if you want to buy BNBP, stake BNBP, play, or whatever you're doing, you can find it all there. That's kind of cool. All right, so that's pretty much BNB. We've got Hex. Let's go jump at Hex. Hex at the moment, 1.854 cents. So we've got a green candle. Yay, green candle in the new day there. Let me just auto-catalyze this one. Auto-catalyze sounds like a chemist, doesn't it? Auto-catalyze, we've got 1.856 cents. We've got a green candle. Let's see where we go to today. Is the bottom in for a while? We will see. We'll see how that goes. What else? We've got a couple more comments. So Hex was once 75 million Hex just in stake. I think we talked about that. IMD sacrifice ended. We talked about that. What else there? Share screen frozen says Hex was one. I just realized that I left it on the old roulette page. So sorry about that. Alex. Remove that. Sorry, I accidentally left it on the video freeze there, so I do apologize for that. Thanks, Hex Horse One. All right, so we're at 1.873 cents on the Hex there. We've got a little bit of a pump. And what is it? Who else is there? Genuine. Genuine's in the house there says, trying to create an internet money wallet. It keeps disappearing. Yeah, it is in beta version. Maybe I get some feedback to KG there on that one. All right, so cool. Sorry about that. I accidentally left it on that promo video. Hopefully that was probably the last 5 minutes, so I do apologize for that. All right, so cool. Let's jump over to the Hex Daily Stats. The Hex Daily Stats at the moment is day 1,123. Hot off the press, folks. 29th of December. We're at the price at 1.81 cents. And, of course, that is down 4.6% on the previous day. We've had quite a long red run at the moment, as you can see in the last 10 days. And, of course, that means, means values are going down, but opportunities are going up for getting volume. Now, we're currently payout per T-share, 6.447 is the payout per T-share. Another good day in the office, of course, the Hex stakes there. And, of course, the share price is $462 for T-share. The share rate went up a massive 15.6 today. Let me just mute this, mute that screen. 15.6. So the share rate is up to 25,394. The only way to get this cheaper is by staking out longer. Longer pays better. You get 20% more shares when you stake your Hex. Your Hex gets burned when you stake it. You get it back at the end of your staking period, plus your interest that you get. And of course, you get 20% more shares per year, up to 200%. So you can get that for a third of the amount if longer pays better, which is a feature of the Hex staking contract. Gives you a kind of a higher effective bonus, as we say. The average stake length 6.75 years. And based on that is the APY rate yield. The emergency in-state penalty 38.47%. Now to get these long, these high APYs, you've got to stake out long, right? You've got to stake out long for that. And of course, just remember that. So I think it's around about, if you did it 1 year at the moment, I think it's around about 11%, 10%, something like that. I haven't checked it recently, but it's something like that. You can always check out on the under useful links on our Discord. We've got all the calculators, Hex calculator, and other things like that. You can check out the numbers there and work out your investment valuations there. Liquidity there, 392 million Hex in the pool. And of course, this is actually down from yesterday, which is 397. Our high has been 398 a couple of days ago. So obviously there's people buying and selling and adding and removing liquidity. So it looks like we've had a bit of liquidity moved from there because the price went down, and all things equal, you should see that go up, but that's actually gone down. So some liquidity has been pulled out of there. We've got $9.4 million US in the pool, and we've got 1,233 in the ETH there. So a bit of changes there on the liquidity pool provided by the LP providers. T-shares, remember, Hex is easy to understand. We have a reward pool with inflation and penalties. We have a ownership pool with T-shares in it, which stands for trillions of shares. If the reward pool or the ownership pool goes up or down, then the Hex payout per T-share goes up or down. But generally, it's just going up and to the right. So that's kind of how we were looking at that. So 6,377 T-shares added to the pool. That is 10,235,000 T-shares in the ownership pool there. And as I say, that will go down over time, and the Hex payout will go up over time. So this is a long game for the Hex ecosystem there. What else? Let's jump over to stake percentage of coins. 9.71% of Hex is staked at the moment. We've got 3.4 million Hex in penalties, and that's a good day in the office for us. In fact, 8 out of the last 10 days have been over 1 million Hex. 50% goes to us as stakers, 50% to the OA, and you can kind of think of that if it never sells, which it hasn't so far that we know of, then that it is helps with deflation. Not deflation, but lower inflation, which is, I think, over the last 3 years has been about 1.95%. I think the last year was somewhere like 1.35 or something like that. So it's kind of some of the numbers that we've seen. We're getting a bit of a spam there, but it's now is deleting them like a boss. So that's pretty cool. And let's have a look at the growth numbers in Hex. We had some, even with the price down, we're getting some good growth numbers. That's probably to be expected, right? We got 151 holders in the house. Increased today to 315,359. This is on Etherscan. If you went to Etherscan, you'd see circulating supply wallets there. We've got the stakers, which is the main headline number for Hex, because it's all about getting T-shares and getting them, getting those money printers, as it were. That's up 58 today. Yesterday was pretty good too, 54. We're up to 116,781. And of course, that's in the current environment. Total holders up 247 to 519,355. That is day 1123. We're in year 4 now, and on day 1124. Base payout is pretty much around 6.281, and it keeps just going up. Just keeps going up, and away with those T-shares changing around there and the penalties as well. So pretty cool. That's Hex Daily Stats. Now we're going to get into a bit of Power City. We've got a bit of Power City here from KDP. And of course, this is Power City development update. Amplifier, our liquid loans custom built front end, is in its final phase development. Now, I had talked about this a couple of days ago, but we're just re-looking at this. Could be on testnet in the coming month. So we're looking forward to that. Hopefully it's a V3 testnet, right? That's what we're wanting for automating compounding strategies on liquid loans built for compounding on Pulsechain as well. And of course, they have the main dApp, which is the core. And of course, that's where you stake your Watt token. Now, the Power City Sacrifice is still open. It is my top tier dApp out of the ones available at the moment. We've got Famous for margin trading with the GMX fork coming to Pulsechain. We've also got Instant Money Wallet, which is closed. So that's closed now. So we've really got 2 left, Power City and Famous at the moment, which are my top tier ones. There are other sacrifices out there, but I just think you're taking on more risk relative to the concept. Now, some of them may do well, but we're looking at probability, right? So that's kind of where we're heading. Built for compounding on Pulsechain. And, of course, this is the video. So we're going to play this quick video preview. I just switched it out and put my own music on it. So hope you guys enjoy it. Let's go. Power City Adapt. And as Brian says, pew, pew. Yeah, definitely pew, pew on this one. We've got Astrid in house as well. Woo! Good to see Astrid. Good to see you as well. Let's play the Power City promo. Here we go, folks. This is coming to Pulsechain, AAA Adapt, and looking forward to it. Yeah, so the cool thing about that is it's going to interact with Liquid Loans, another one of our top AAA projects, and of course with the biggest sacrifice over $50 million. And of course, it's going to allow you to compound your returns in there. Obviously, that is the 8th wonder of the world. So it's going to be pretty cool on Pulsechain for that. Pulsechain, Pulse Gains. So that is pretty much our coverage for today. The Hex price there making a bit of a green candle on today. Is this a Hex token channel bump today? I think it is. I think that is. I don't know if it is, but we're going to take credit, as you guys know. 1.869 cents there is where the Hex price is. And, of course, it is an opportunity, I guess, is the way to look at it. We did deep down the last 2 days. We dipped down because of the big whales that decided to sell DO1, remember, and the sister accounts there in here, plus another whale wallet in there as well, triggered at 2.1, sold it down. And, of course, we've got a few other wallets out there too with the decent amounts capitulating. Some of them not part of the plan, maybe part of the plan perhaps, but some of them are capitulating and selling down here at the moment. So that's where the bleed out. But we have got a green candle today. Maybe the market is going to try and make a stand here at this range here from we got down to about, what was that, 3 days ago, we got down to 1693 here as well. So we'll see how we get on. That is where the market is at the moment. The last hour, 21 buys versus 24 sells, but the volume is the key. $75,000 buy volume versus 52,000, and we've got a nice little green candle. But we've only just started the day, 1 hour into the day on this candle. 1 hour. So there we are, 23 more hours to go. Brendan says daily RSI well oversold. That is correct. So I don't even know if I have that on here, the RSI. Do I have the RSI? Indicators. I'm not sure if I have the RSI on this chart. Yeah, I don't know if I do have the RSI. Bam. I guess you're not using the stochastic. So yeah, well oversold here on the RSI. That is a good point there from Brennan. And you can see that there. That is oversold. So we might get some support here, folks. Sandy Beach says, what's it? Brennan says, I'm calling for a relief rally for Hex. Nice. What have we got? The Hex also says, I used a Red Bull tin can to thicken the battery terminal so it ain't loose on a BMW. Hope it works. I like that one. That's what we call Kiwi ingenuity there, Exodal. Sandy Beach says, I bought some Hex earlier today in the 0177 range. Well done to you. It's now up at 18.68 there at the moment. Now, your percentage gains at the moment are pretty amazing, right? Let's go to the hourly chart. And, of course, we can see that you had a nice little gain there. So what do you get? 1.77. So that's about here, isn't it? So your little gain's up 5%. 5% from that little pump there. Well done. That's the hourly chart at the moment, last couple of hours. And, of course, that's the first hour of our daily chart here. That's the first hour. Who else is in the house? With Hex says, I need a new battery, and it's a 2018. Not too old, but it's crapping out. Yeah. It's always good to get a new battery. My back tire on my car is completely flat. I don't know how it happened, but it's completely flat. Crazy. Hex says, didn't hold the charge for after 48 hours after charging Genius 5 charger, and it showed green. Nice. Well, we hope that you can have your car operational for McDonald's drop. You've got to have it ready for the McDonald's drop there, Exodal. All right, what else there? Steak Hex says, so much fun in Hex. Make no difference in me. I'm a buyer. We will see who's laughing last. Yeah, that's right. We will see. All right, we're having a little pump here. Woohoo! And we're on the second hour now, folks. This is the second hour of the day. And we've got another second hour green candle starting. Let's go. Hex Token channel. Pump, 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 pump. We're rocking it on the DMV. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hey, look, it's always a buyer's opportunity. And we know what's coming down the line, right? We know what's coming down the line. In fact, I think KDP actually had a little bit of a list on her, little Pumpamentals. I'm not sure if it's around there. She still got that. I'm pretty sure I saw something she posted earlier today. Let me have a look. Let's have a look at KDP. Here we are. So this is, if you think about what's coming up for the Hex, it's the Pulsechain. So Hex is tied to the Pulsechain narrative. We say it again and again and again. This is the way it is. We got Pulsechain, 150 projects being built. But in this, you know me, I always break it down. So out of this 150, we've probably got 10 that are top quality projects. And out of that, maybe 6 of those are really top AAA projects, high utilities. But probably 10 of those are pretty good. Then we've got a mixed bag. Maybe the next 10 are kind of a mix. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. And of course, then after that, we've got lots of other projects there that you can take, a possible play on. But I like to play probable plays with the high utilities. We've got 3 native stablecoins. We'll probably have possibly 5 native stablecoins. But 3+ is a good measure. We'll probably have at least 5. And then, of course, I think we'll get a lot of the dominant ones, Tether, USDC coming over to Pulsechain. I think they'll just come over when they find out how much value has been created over there. Bridges for 20+ blockchains. Yeah, well, Power City's transformer is supposed to be, they've got multi-chain, so I would expect to have more than 20. I was surprised to see her write 20 on here. I think we're expecting, 80, 90 out of that, so probably we'll probably see that at some stage. But 20+ is probably all the main chains. We want most of the main chains with high value, with potentially thousands of trading pairs, so that's kind of cool. So imagine having an ecosystem and then having an open bridges coming into the ecosystem. That's what we want. That's the vibrancy. We want stable coins. We want on-ramp, off-ramps, right? So we've got that. So in the native stable coins, just coming back to that, we've got USDL for liquid loans. We'll have CST for Coast. I know we could probably have BankX for BankX there. And there's 2 others. I just can't remember their names just off the head there. I might have to do another video on that. Best onboarding tools there as well. We're going to have, obviously, we've got lots of onboarding tools being built out. It's kind of cool. Free Pulse and others. We've got PLS Forset there, PLSX Forset. I'm not sure what those ones are reflecting particularly, but we've got, Free Pulse and stuff like that. DeFi applications with the utility. That's what I said. These are the top tier. So out of that 150, maybe we've got, 6 to 10 that are really good. 6 particularly that I'm aware of are very good. NFT marketplaces, we've got at least 4 or 5 of these 150 projects are in the NFT market space, and they're all really good, actually. At least 4 out of 5 are really good. Of course, that includes Mintra, Power City's own one there. And I think How to Pulse got their own one, I think, as well. So there's some pretty good options in there, very good quality as well. So far, they're native and much, much more. The other thing that's not on here, of course, we've got stable coins coming, or we've got stable coins, sorry. But Fiat Ops ramps coming. We've got Coast, of course, doing that. Reckon Rochelle looks like to be doing that. And, of course, in addition, Reckon Rochelle's going to have centralized exchange, coin listing sites, security, crypto security, and I'm missing one thing on there as well. The on-ramp, off-ramp. They'll be having on-ramp, off-ramp as well. So that's really, really cool. So that is kind of a good summary of what's coming up for Hex. And at the moment, we're at 1.868 cents on the Hex chart there. We'll be watching this pretty closely. Who else has arrived? We're coming up to 1 hour and 34. I was going to wrap up an hour and a half, and then we got to 1 hour 34 already. Let's see where we are. Let's jump through all that. Hexol says, hope Hex Token doesn't read all of our comments, lol. No, I'm not reading all those. I jumped through all those. I learnt my lesson a long time ago, the Hexol, with your comments. He will, Sly. He will. No, I'm not. I'm not doing the sandwich. I jumped all of them. I saw them all, and I went, no, I'm not reading any of those. That's the way I go. That's how I do it. All right. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's live stream. 1 hour and 34 minutes. We've covered some really cool stuff today as well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that. Now, hopefully tomorrow I've got to cover Icosa. I said I was going to do it today. Let's actually do it now. Let's look at Icosa now, because I might as well. I did say I was going to do it today. I like to be a man of my word, as it were. I like to be a man of my word. Now, where is it? Icosa here. USDC 95. Let's look here. All right, so Akosa, I'll talk about this. This is one I keep missing out on. This is currently at 33 cents at the moment. Let's go to the daily. It's the daily. Obviously following Hex down as the old Akosa. That is down at 33 cents. And of course, this used to be over $1. Remember, it used to be over $1. Let's have a look. We'll put it on the log and scroll that over. That is what Akosa's looked like. Yeah, we used to be over $1.60. Is down at 33 cents at the moment. And of course, people are not claiming their WhatsApp NFTs. They are not letting them go. Pretty crazy there on that. So 24 hours, we had 15 buys, 12 sells. 78 says, actually not a volume trading either. Liquidity at 132,000. 7.9 thousand buy volume versus 8.4. That is just where it is at the moment. But people are holding on to those Wattses like nothing else, that's for sure. What else there? We were up to here. Brendan says, Superman, the man of his word. Yeah, try to be. I think it's your word is your bond, as it were. The word is your bond. Astro says, Akosa bargain. Yeah, when markets pivot, that could be quite the bargain there on the Akosa. That being said, of course, a lot of people are accumulating Akosa. So there is the supply side to take into account. All right, let me go back to the Hex chart. We're going to wrap up for sure. I have done extended here, but Hex at the moment, opportunities abound. Man, can you believe the opportunities? I just went through quite a few of those lists of things coming up there based on that KDP tweet. And of course, imagine getting so much volume at this price level. It's going to be crazy. Now, there's still people out there. It's got their limit orders for 1 cent. They've been talking about it for months. Remember? Months. I got my limit order at 1 cent. I'm waiting for 1 cent. Well, that's getting pretty close. But nothing is inevitable. We will see. And of course, the crypto market has not yet fallen with the hammer. What is the catalyst that's going to do it? I just really find it hard to see anything in January, February, maybe. January, finding it very hard to find a catalyst unless there's something out there we're not aware of. But so far, nothing has really landed there at the moment. Now, will TA play it? Will some player do it? Dumping ETH, BTC or something like that? We'll see. Will the shorters, the margin shorters get in there? They need some catalyst, right, to make that happen typically. Some big setup or something. We'll see how that goes. Will one of the big exchanges something dump all done? Let's see how that all plays out at the moment. Nothing. I can't really see anything there at this stage. So 1867 is 1.867 is the X price. It's holding there. It's nice and steady. Woohoo! I think that's pretty much it. Sandy Beach says, sorry, Hex Token, I'm tired, so I'm looping now, says Sandy Beach. Brendan says 3 cent retest, then further down, maybe, says Brendan. That's Brendan's. He's one of our traders there. Nice assessment there. And of course, you called it pretty well there, Brendan, on the old with the older RSI metric there. So very nice. All right, an hour and 38. I'm surely we're up to date there. I think that's probably the way it goes. Let's get in some music on the way out. As you guys know, we like to play some funky music. Let's start off with Richard Hart, and then we're going to have the highest of stakes, and then it's just going to play out with our Pulsechain, Pulse gains. All right, take care, everybody. See you in Discord. Links in the video description. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, all that good stuff. If you want to join as a member of the channel, hit the join button. 3 memberships, Pulsechans, Hexkins, Richard Hart Club. 3 ways of supporting the channel as we are on here every day. Yeah, boy. We are waiting for the rollout of Pulsechain, Pulse gains. And of course, we love our money printer, our Hex money printer every day, minting our Hex, playing the long game. So I hope you guys enjoy yourself. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.
Art here in my $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is already better.
Thank you.